Hey, what's going on, everyone, on the Variety Errors channel and the CoinOp community? Well, let's talk about $2 bills. So, I went to the bank today and got a stack of $2 bills. It seems like the teller gave me a lot of ones that are in sequence, so I'm going to assume that we're going to look more for errors in this bill run, in this daily bill search, as opposed to ones that are fancy serial numbers. But the nice thing is that these look all nice and crisp. They're pretty new. They're Series 2013, which is shown down there. And essentially, there's a few aspects we can look at. So similar to other denominations of U.S. banknotes, Federal Reserve notes, the $2 bill incorporates a lot of different things. So we have our seals. It's pretty standard stuff, our serial numbers. And they go through a multi-printing process like any other bill. So the serial numbers and the seals are printed within the paper of the bill. During, I believe it'd be the first or it'd be the second phase of the process. And then everything else is printed over top, kind of like a standard printing, I guess, in a sense. Albeit it's using an engraved kind of planchet-looking thing, as opposed to like a laser printer rolling it out. So let's get right to it. So the serial numbers and everything are all very clean and crisp on this mint $2 bill. Serial numbers are nothing fancy and nothing to talk about, so we'll kind of go quickly past those. The the seal here, excuse me, of the Department of the Treasury is sitting a little high, but it's not enough to call it an error. So unless it's sitting way off and, or up here by Washington or whatever, that wouldn't be an error. So let's look at the reverse of the bill. The $2 bill hasn't undergone a graphics change in a long, long time, along with the $1 bill. So the depiction on the back of the bill of the signing of the Declaration of Independence is, in fact, something that's been there for quite some time. There's been other renditions of the bill previous to it, in the 1800s, but throughout the 1900s, the $2 bill has basically gone unchanged. There's a few figures in the picture that are missing from the original painting that was done, but nevertheless, it's a very great depiction. I can't wait for it to go through a graphics change. Maybe they'll enhance this picture, add some color to it, or whatever, like they've done to other denominations. And you can see that it's very heavily printed. It's definitely a fresh off the press. You can see how hard pressed that is. But just to give you a couple of examples. Serial numbers here and these are also not that great, so we'll kind of just jump through this. I have quite a few $2 bills here, so I'm not going to yammer on as I usually do for like 4 minutes on each bill. Series 2013 also, nothing crazy with the serial number, nothing nuts with the seals. Everything's printed appropriately. It's sitting perfectly on the margins. We got some stuff up here, but it looks like it's not from printing. It's probably a counter stamp or just a rub off of, when a teller wets their fingers to go through bills, which I can't stand, but nevertheless, that's what it is. We can see some splattered ink here around. Let me get this to focus. Sorry, here we go. Right below those 2 8s. I'm going to try to get as close as I can. There you go. You can see that green ink is kind of transition into the other parts of the paper. Like I said, it's printed within the paper, so sometimes the ink will stray. Those are not threads that are put in there for anti-counterfeiting like normal. And same deal with this one. We're going to probably see this rub on most of them since they're in series. She also gave me some serial numbers that are just like never going to go to, you can usually sometimes look at them. For instance, I'll talk about it on this next one, but you can sometimes look at them and be like, oh, okay, they're in series. There's going to be number X, Y, and Z or whatever that's going to be a great collector. In this case, it looks like she gave me like the middle of a block, which doesn't help me at all. So, we'll see as we go through them. Anyway, I'll shut up and kind of just go through them quickly. This one, what I just want to mention about it is, like it's getting closer to a serial number that would be collectible, a radar bill or something like that, or a trinary. I don't think anything's going to come up judging from the serial numbers I have so far, unless they jump around. Same deal here, nothing really majorly collectible. All these have been Series 2013 as we've seen down here. All of them are nice and crisp though, so that's good as far as if they were collectible, that would help with the value on them being a very crisp bill. Nothing there. Nothing there. See, and just these middle of this block with this 5 here is going to throw everything off. I mean, it's just not going to produce a fancy serial number worth calling home about. But hopefully we'll come across a shifted print or, you know, a really heavily overprinted one. It looks like all these kind of in the series around this last two serial numbers, it's less obvious there, but in the circular part of the second 9, you can tell it's got some ink issues. But like I said, they're not profound enough to really call them collectible. So we'll just kind of keep on keeping on. Nothing really nuts throughout here. Everything's all printed great, so I'm going to really kind of just shoot through these quick. A little bit of a higher shift here on the seal, but nothing collectible again, unfortunately. 5 rearing its ugly head to kind of keep screwing up my fancy serial number fine, but oh well. I have lots of $2 bills. If you watch any of my videos, I love $2 bills. I've always liked them. I think the depiction on the back is one of the best ones that's been on any denomination. You can disagree with me if you want or agree with me, but I do like them. Mainly, I like $2 bills because when you're out spending them and stuff, I think it's funny because, you know, people just don't see them very often, so they're like, oh, well, a $2 bill, holy crap. See, like, if this is a 5 up here, but since this is the middle of the block, it's just not helping me. Great condition, though, on all of these. I mean, so far I have not come across one, so these were fresh. I mean, probably another... It looks like they've been picked through. I mean... You know, if you thumb through them or whatever. So probably another collector or whatever was looking for specific bills. Let me get my camera to refocus. Come on. Weird. Alright, sorry about that. You're not missing anything anyway if it was blurry for you, because nothing has been collectible so far. Serial numbers. This one's got some funky inking on the last 2 digits also. But like I said, nothing nuts, so... We'll just kind of keep on keeping on. And I get a lot of questions about bills in series. So, like I mean, if you're noticing now, it's quite easy to go get bills in series. So, it doesn't matter if I had 1,000 of these in series. It's not really that, it's not collectible. So, I mean, you know, if your question is, oh, well, I have 15 $2 bills and they go, you know, whatever, 713 through 728 or whatever, that's not collectible. I mean, if they were all star notes, maybe by a couple bucks or something extra. But once again, even star notes, unless they're a fancy serial number. Now, if you had a whole bunch of in-sequence fancy serial numbers somehow or whatever, which I guess wouldn't really be possible, then, you know, you might have something on your hands. But outside of just being... If it's just a sequence of serial numbers on bills, it's just not collectible. I mean, $2 bills are likable enough as they are. Got a little bit closer to one, but unless this was a 0 here instead of a 7, it's not collectible in my opinion. Even then, it's still just a trinary, and it's not in a fancy serial number like format, so it's still not going to command any premium over face value, just be collectible. I haven't seen any seals out of place or serial numbers really screwed up or anything. I like how on these $2 bills, pretty much one of the only anti-counterfeiting measures on them is all the threads and stuff you'll see in the bill. If you hold it kind of at an angle under light, you'll notice a lot of different colored threads in there. Well, not a lot of different colors, but red, blue, and green. And those are simply part of the paper that is used to make banknotes or what they're printed on. And also just a measure to stop counterfeiting, albeit 1s and 2s are not heavily counterfeited, but they are. Nothing crazy here. Very vibrant colors on everything so far, though. Then again, these are very new, so, you know, $2 bills, like I said, aren't used very often, so they tend to sit at the bank a long time. Nothing nuts, nothing on the reverses of the bills so far. This is probably the most pristine stack of 2s that I've gone through. If you watch any of my videos, I generally get ones that have a bunch of crap written all over them, and, you know, people trying to be Pablo Escobar and putting Pablo on there and all that stuff, so definitely a good condition set of $2 bills, but they are in sequence, and they did come from the bank, so Nothing yet, nothing yet. Looks like a bust on these $2 bills. I was hoping to have some sort of really profound error note, but nothing great. So it is what it is. A bunch of twos with a whole bunch of nothing in them. Nevertheless, we did another daily bill search and we tried, but we're going to go put all these back in the bank. At least it's 80 or $100 or whatever it was back in my bank account, and I'll get some more bills and look through them with you tomorrow. I appreciate you checking out the video. Hopefully we'll have better luck next time with some bills. See if we can find some fancy serial numbers or error notes that we can all sell and share the money with each other. Go out to, dinner together and get some drinks or whatever it is you do. I appreciate you subscribing and liking the videos. I will catch you in the next one. See you later.